Monster Jam World Finals is monster truck fans' version of the Super Bowl and our version of WrestleMania. It is the biggest event held by a monster truck promotion all year. This video is coming from someone who has fallen in love with Monster Jam when I first watched it in 2007. Throughout the years, I have watched the sport on and off until present day. This year, FELD Entertainment, the company that purchased Monster Jam in 2008, has decided to change the format of 2025's World Finals. In my opinion, this change is terrible. In the 25 years of World Finals history, FELD decided to change the format of how the World Finals operated. Let's go over a brief history of the World Finals operations. The World Finals have always been held in Las Vegas, Nevada at Sam Boyd Stadium in the month of March historically. The 24 truck lineups that we have today have not always been the case. World Finals 1 through 5 had 16 truck competitions. World Finals 6 was the one and only event to have 20 trucks. And World Finals 7 was the first event to have the standard 24 truck lineup all the way up until World Finals 14, where in this event, and only this event, had 28 trucks. World Finals 15 is the first event to utilize the 32 truck lineup in the beginning of the two-day format, all the way up until World Finals 19. World Finals 19 was the last event held in Las Vegas at Sam Boyd Stadium. It was also the last World Finals to include a 32 truck lineup. World Finals 20 in 2019 had returned to the 24 truck event lineup. This is the first year I attended a World Finals, which also began the rotation of the inaugural event at Orlando, Florida. Personally, I like the two-day events, as the two-wheel skills and high jump competitions were also included in 2019. The only complaints I've heard up until this point was about the event not being held at Sam Boyd Stadium, but there is nothing you can really do. The stadium was closed due to the NFL Raiders being moved to Allegiant Stadium open in Las Vegas, therefore closing down the venue all Monster Jam fans loved and grew up with, including myself. It's the only venue that does Vegas-style racing where trucks start from outside the venue and race into it. Rest in peace, Sam Boyd Stadium. World Finals 21 was originally scheduled for May 2020, but postponed until May 2022 due to the lockdowns. It was the second and last event held at Camping World Stadium before being moved. This event stands out with the introduction with Monster Jam's first over and under style racing track. Props for Monster Jam for bringing something unique to the sport. I hope to see more of this, other than the second time it was used at the All-Star Challenge in Anaheim, California. World Finals 22 was the first single-day event since World Finals 13 and was being held at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. This event was notable for not including My GOAT's Maximum Destruction's 20th anniversary encore. More on encores later. World Finals 23 in Los Angeles was held at SoFi Stadium and was also another single-day event. My lady and myself were there from the pit party all the way up until the end of the event. This, in my opinion, was another unique track layout featuring a S-style racing track that brought new and intense racing for the 24 truck field to struggle and fight through. But its freestyle course was lackluster and very disappointing. Finally, we get to this year's upcoming World Finals 24 in Salt Lake City, hosted at Rice-Eccles Stadium. This is where FELD decided to change the format with this god-awful scheduling. Now, let's look at this screenshot of the schedule for this World Finals this year. How do you look at this? This whole convoluted bullshit. And I'm sorry if there's kids in here, but how do you look at this and get excited? The past 20 plus years of World Finals history, Nothing wrong with it. Nothing was broken. Nobody had complaints for this. This is the best time of the year. Seeing 24 trucks clash at once. Seeing 24 trucks freestyle at once. Not splitting the competitions half and half and then deciding the winners of those competitions the second day. I don't care what justification they did on their podcast. This does not make any sense. Why does FELD keep making changes to Monster Jam? How do you feel about this? Let me know down in the comments section. I don't get why we support this, because if you support this and buy tickets for their show, next year you're going to see the same exact thing. And then the next year. And then the next year. But people are going to eat it up because they want to see their monster trucks do the same things they have been doing. And I know they're trying to make it fresh and new, but it's like drilling holes in a ship that's perfectly floating. Everyone on the ship is happy, cool, everyone's having a great time, and FELD said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to drill holes in this ship and let it sink. And the reception to this schedule was so bad, at one point they had to turn their comment section off, and if you go to their Facebook post from January 9th, you'll see all the negative discourse they had, and they seen all this and said, you know what, we're going to do what we want to do. Don't support this. Well, let's move on to the next section. In my opinion, FELD has made changes to the sport that changes the characteristics of what made Monster Jam, Monster Jam. The sport we all love, grew up with, and fell in love with is no longer here. FELD has stripped the identity of what made Monster Jam so memorable and grew it into a powerhouse of a monster truck promotion that it is today. No other monster truck promotion is as big as Monster Jam, and I wish that was not the case. More on this in a few moments. First, let's start with the track changes. All the way up until the mid-2010s, Monster Jam tracks had color, uniqueness, character, and tracks week to week that stood out from each other. As the sport got bigger and time went on, tracks got crazier and bigger. The track is what made the sport what it is. Unique freestyle tracks always provided some of the best sports moments in history, such as Taz at World Finals 9 and Don Creedon as well. Don't get me wrong, tracks today still provide crazy wow moments as well, to be fair and honest. In present day Monster Jam, we don't see unique tracks anymore. Honestly, it's the same track layout every week, depending on which stadium tour you watch. How could you look at all these tracks week to week and say this is objectively better when comparing it to the tracks of yesteryear? A quote I saw recently on someone's YouTube thumbnail is this: people aren't using nostalgia to say something was better. It's simply because it was. Even some of the drivers want to return to form. Now, to be fair, some people do look at these things with a pair of nostalgic glasses. There are added benefits to having an all-dirt track, such as the many two-wheel skills moves you can do off of the ramps and having multiple angles in hitting the ramp. With the exclusion of crush cars and buses, the tracks look generic every week and look like low-budget, money-saving tracks. They say it's for safety, but even to this day, some independent monster truck promoters use crush cars, such as the Toughest Truck Tour. I wish they could give Monster Jam a run for their money, because the new fans and casual fans have no idea how good we had it. There is no argument that you can give me that would convince me that the tracks today are far superior than the tracks of yesteryear. Some of the best tracks in history of this sport were made years ago. Now, I have never been a fan of Monster Jam game releases. Why? They are garbage, absolute soulless cash grabs with lazy effort put into them. Do you want realistic physics, truck and track customization? No, you get floaty, crappy physics and crappy gameplay. You have die-hard corporate shills who will run cover for Monster Jam because they love the sport to the point that the company they love can do no wrong. To shield criticism, they'll say it's made for the kids. Even when I was a kid, I've wanted realistic physics, and to this day, you won't get it. Beam NG Drive is a car and truck simulator for PC, a game that cost me less than $30, has Monster Jam mods that ironically has made it the best Monster Jam game of all time. These mods are made by unpaid, die-hard fans who really crave the most realistic fun you can have as a fan. Even FELD trains their drivers they hire and they use the simulator. I spent countless hours after work playing Beam NG Drive. If you have a PC, get the game and download the mods. If you have a console, you are really missing out. Monster Jam fans are teenagers and young adults, yet we get pushed to the side in favor of kids, and as time goes on, Monster Jam is being turned into Disney with how hard they cater to the kids. The encores of yesteryear are gone. The days of seeing a great encore with multiple trucks burning down the building was a sight to behold. Now, you get stunts. Look at Sparkle Smash jump into a stack of cars. That's so peak. Look at the Fortnite sponsored truck jumping into the battle bus. Just absolutely amazing. Such a fantastic spectacle to see. Now, let's look at some real encore. I will never forgive FELD for not allowing the greatest driver of the sport, Tom Mintz, my GOAT, my precious GOAT, our GOAT, a 20th anniversary encore. Over time, our sport has been completely dismantled, watered down, just to save money and get more cash from the fans. In conclusion, FELD has watered down Monster Jam. There will be diehard fans that say, if you don't like it, why do you watch it? And in all my years I have lived, this is a dismissive question. You could be a fan of a game, a sport, or movies and have honest, valid opinions. You are a fan, and just because you dislike something does not make you any less of a fan. Being a fan has zero requirements, and you don't have to glaze, as the younger generation likes to say today, the entertainment you consume. Earlier this year, I had the privilege to finally meet Dennis Anderson. I quickly interviewed him, and he said the commentators today aren't authentic, sound like weather reporters at times. Nobody has anything on my precious GOAT, Scott Douglas, and that he fought to keep zoomies on the trucks while being employed with FELD. With the changes today, it's obvious that all these changes were made to save the company money. I'm just calling a spade a spade. However, this does not mean the sport today is great. We still get absolute bangers today from the drivers that still have a passion for this sport, as everyone here watching this video does. An example of this is some of the technicality that the two-wheel skills events bring to the table, although it's starting to get stale. Nothing today from Monster Jam will compare with some of the best moments in this sport's history of yesteryear, which many fans, including myself, consider the golden age of Monster Jam. And with that, that's the end of the video. What are some things you agree or disagree with? Comment, like, share, and subscribe for more content. Critical Creeper, out.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.